Breaking news, urgent update, warning for some that rely on particular banks and having access to cash and the bank's ATM systems as they are being shut down for one particular reason. And this before we see FedNow, CBDC precursor rolling out in July, already underway, and potentially a devastating crash and collapse to our society and the ways of life for which we once knew, which will no longer be the norm. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. My name is Kevin, Kevin in all caps, youtube.com/@Kevin247. Please go ahead and hit that like button and make sure it stays lit. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on alerts and notifications and make sure you comment down below. I've got a pinned comment down there. I got a question. I want to know what you guys think. Please drop your answers, as well as beware of the scammers and the spammers and the bots. If you want to contact me, by all means, my information is in the description down below. No need to comment your phone number. I am not going to text you. I'm not going to try to WhatsApp you. But if you want to reach me, by all means, you can with the information in the description, and even hit me up on Instagram if you so choose. Please feel free to share me stories of the latest that I can bring to everyone else's attention that will help us all get ready and prepare for what is likely to come. A devastation, an economic wipeout and collapse as we're on the brink of a recession. Many fear a depression where many folks are not ready, they're not prepared, and they haven't stocked up. Have you stocked up? I hope you are stocking up now, because there is one particular item that I think is going to be of utmost importance moving forward. And I'm stocking up now more than ever before. Prepare, folks. Shit's about to get ugly. Or at the very least, shit's going to hit the fan if it hasn't hit it already, and it's slinging that shit around the room. About to get it on your shirt, on your white shirt. Be careful, folks. Fed warns that we need to be cautious on raising rates after the bank failures. Obviously, Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank, liquidity concerns, bank runs, as well as the Fed trying to get inflation under control by adjusting interest rates, could lead to systemic risk and contagion amongst these banks, especially at a time where people don't have the resources and the capital and the cash and the savings that they should to be able to weather this storm. All the while, we're seeing events happening across the country in certain areas, in particular, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Portland, Oregon, now Chicago, Illinois, as we're seeing major businesses and corporations pulling out, leaving those who are left behind to suffer the fate of these now deserts, banking deserts, food deserts, education deserts, and letting the same very reason why these companies and businesses are leaving, these corporations are exiting, mass exile, crime and theft only going to continue to get worse amongst a particular subset group demographic that the media is portraying as the problem. What do you guys think? Now, we also have reports of banks, I believe in New York and maybe even other parts of the country, now being shut down and their ATM vestibules being closed because of crime, theft, robberies, vagrants, homelessness, drug use, vandalism. The list goes on and on. We are digging ourselves our own graves, and these companies are going to continuously make record profits, but they're going to continuously move away from the problems. And where they go, the money will follow. And all that means is we're going to see higher prices. This may not necessarily translate to CPI inflation numbers, but I urge you all to get ready and become better prepared for what is happening. Stock up now while you can. Remember, insulate yourself from these problems as the rich continue to get richer, and there's talks of government programs being slashed, welfare being reduced, Social Security being affected, Medicare being affected, maybe even having restrictions imposed on the foods that you can even buy and eat on these food stamp, SNAP, EBT programs. Heads up, folks, this is just the beginning. This is the movie preview, the trailer to CBDC coming to a city near you, actually a state near you, because we do have certain states in particular, like the great state of Florida, where they have basically flat out said that CBDC is not going to be allowed in Florida. Meanwhile, Florida, if we look at it in contrast to Illinois, Florida is now, just a few days ago, included in the list of states that is a constitutional carry state. Therefore, the people of Florida are much more likely to be able to protect themselves if needed. But also we have legislation here in office that works to protect the people of Florida. None of this left-wing, liberal, woke nonsense BS. No, it's about making sure the people of this state are taken care of and are not unnecessarily put at risk. Just think about what happened in Chicago just the other day with this wild mob of teens running around, destroying the city, jumping on buses, tearing apart cars, attacking innocent people in the streets. The criminals that these people are, I don't care what they look like, what the media says, the criminals that they are engaging in these criminal activities were protected by the government. They were protected by the very same people that they voted into office that continue to allow these cities and the people in these cities and states, for that matter, to be to deteriorate and be wiped out, potentially at risk, while also removing and pushing for more legislation and wondering why Republicans won't stand up and act against gun violence and try to ban people's ability to protect themselves and try to come into your home and take your firearms away from you. No, they have much more sense than that, because they realize that guns aren't violent. The people are violent. Granted, I think 2 teenagers were shot in Chicago from this event. Countless others probably hurt and injured in a variety of different ways. But for the most part, the people, the property damage, all of which was a result of the physical acts of the human beings involved. They were violent, okay? They were violent. You know, setting stores on fire. Is fire inherently violent? No, fire is a useful tool for heat, cooking, etc. But also can be used for, destruction if so choose. The people are violent. Therefore, in a state like Florida, we have the ability, we are legally within our own rights to protect ourselves. And in a situation like I've just seen here in Chicago, an attempted carjacking would end literally in just one outcome in the state of Florida. Legally, stand your ground. You have that right. So I don't see that necessarily, coming this way, but we're not immune to it. But we definitely have much better chances of avoiding these problems depending on where we are. And this is where we are, folks. These companies are going to be avoiding these problems, moving away, and these include the banks. And this is before we even get into the new age of CBDC, central bank digital currency, with the FedNow system laying the groundwork for this and getting everybody on board, getting everybody on track. But again, you have to realize that this is yet another push by the left. The Biden administration, Executive Order 14067, 14067, ISO 20022, for control, for fear, for scare tactics, for dependency. Would you rather depend on the current administration, or would you rather depend on a different administration? Because in my opinion, the current administration is the one that's going to be leading us into the grave, if we're so lucky to get there, if not attacked by some enemy country looking to do harm to us at a time which not only as a country have we disarmed law-abiding, citizens that are becoming victims, we've ultimately disarmed ourselves as a country as we continuously shell out resources to other countries to fight their wars, whether we're really fighting them or not. Leaked documents may tell you otherwise from what they want you to believe. But also showing these enemies that are gearing up to work as a collective front. We got the BRICS system, folks. Don't forget about these folks. Collectively building up their resources to attack us physically, mentally, emotionally. This could be a Cold War. This could be an attack through TikTok. This could be an attack through banks, through the financial system, or it could be a physical attack because they know that we are undermanned, we're outgunned, and they even have the spy footage from the balloons flying overhead to prove it. The simple fact of the matter is, folks, this is it. This is your warning sign. Get ready, get prepared, stock up now before it's too late. Because when that day comes, then you're going to be sitting there saying, man, I really wish I would have done something. I really wish I would have been better prepared. No, you got to prepare now. You got to have a plan. You got to execute it, because they are working on theirs against us, and it doesn't look good.